Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? So basically we're going to be talking about the new update coming up. Of course, this is the Taiwanese version of the game. So again, if you're looking for it, you need to go onto your phone and pull up igg.com, or you can pull it up on BlueStacks like I am doing. Now, ultimately, I will have a link to this in the description below if you are looking for it and can't. But essentially what you want to do is open this up. And it's going to be called Lords Online. So FYI, if you're having a hard time finding it, you'll look up Lords Online. And you'll notice that as soon as you do, it will come up. All right, now, having that said, all right, Lords Online is the beta version of Lords Mobile. Now, again, every time you install this game for like the very first time, obviously, for those of you out there, it's obviously going to run you through the same old stuff that everybody has come to love, right? Because everybody loves the intro. And what I recommend you do is you hit the home button, you close it, take a deep breath, open it up again. All right, take your hands off the computer for just a second. Don't freak out. Don't get all pissed off. Just wait. And there you go. All right, now this is basically where we've got to, it's going to handle this the rest of the way, but this is not as bad had it been any other way. So, having that said, we'll go ahead and collect, yada, 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 go to the go, connect this, hit upgrade, yada, yada, yada. And once you've done that, that is pretty much all that you got to do at this point, because at this point, if you want to swap accounts and stuff, you can. But for this particular video, we're going to be talking about the update that's coming up today. So, the update that is going to be coming up, and it's going to be coming up pretty soon, all right? And again, if you're wondering, how do I actually get to it, you got to go open this up here, and you got to do this one little part. And again, you can speed through this pretty quick, because all you got to do is really, it's going to handle you through a lot of this. But essentially, you just want to hit attack, and then click that, and hit that, and let it attack. Again, it's going to handle you through this entire process for at least a good few minutes, but basically you just go up and leave. You don't have to spend like a whole 10-age millennium of just time spent wasted trying to do this. Because again, it's not really worth it, but essentially you just get through that, and then you can basically type in a name. Doesn't really matter, we can just do whatever at this point, and we can change the name. It's going to pop us into the kingdom, and then it's going to tell us, oh, you need to go back, and it's going to let us go back. But essentially, as soon as you've done that, that is pretty much getting through that particular barrier. Now, to actually get through this barrier, again, this is not any different than the first one, because really all you gotta do is hit attack, and then it's gonna fail the first time. Okay, so you leave, and then what you do is you attack again, and you wait until it gets through, you hit leave again, and then there you go, you've essentially completed the second screen mission almost like that without really hardly any effort whatsoever. Now, the benefit of getting this out of the way essentially now is that you're going to basically notice that now it wants to walk you through the hero stage. And again, this is basically the classic tutorial, just wanting to baby you through this entire stage. So if you guys have gone through this before, you probably are going to get severely annoyed by the fact that you have to literally be hand-holded your way through the entire tutorial every time you decide to start up a new instance BlueStacks on a new account. A little annoying, I'm sure, but I'm sure all of you would probably kind of understand how this goes. Now, of course, whatever you are trying to actually see the updates, once you've done this, you don't have to do it twice. That's the only luxury of basically what it's like starting a new account on this game. But essentially, once you've done this, all right. And again, the main thing that we're really looking for here is, the only thing we really care about in this particular situation is we just want to actually kill her as quick as possible, at least within reason, and then we can leave as soon as, and sometimes I don't recommend leaving right off the bat, because this particular part doesn't exactly let you do that, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's fine. Either way, so once you get through that, and then it proceeds to want to baby you up to the next step, what I do is I just click, and then it's going to tell you that you need to do this. And again, there's just the classic, intro telling you, oh, you must do this. you need to do this, and you need to click that, and blah, 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 blah. And it basically wants to control your life and everything in it. But basically, once you close out of that, right? All right. The one thing you'll notice right away is you can obviously, you can always pick up the packs anytime. So if you want to look and see what packs are coming up, this is how you can actually see the packs in advance. But you'll notice that up here, something's missing, and that is our events. So to actually see the events, what you've got to do is you've got to get your castle wall upgraded. So first things first, you go up here, you hit that, and then you go over here and you click that. It's going to be a 15-minute timer, and so like anything, it's going to ask you that, oh, you need to use speed ups, and then you can basically do it. Now, in my case, I recommend just popping 5 minutes or wait 3 minutes, whatever the case, whatever suits you. Okay, if you're like me and you just want to know what events are coming up, then you don't really care. All right, now as soon as you've done that, then you've got to essentially click on this. It tells you, okay, you need the wall 3, so you go up here, pop this again. It's going to be an 8-minute timer, but you get 15 minutes and you go, wait a minute. You could wait a minute, but I just recommend just popping a 5 and then go over here, pop this, pop a 15-minute, and then pop 2 more 5s. Or wait, doesn't matter what you're going to do. Just know that basically the aim here is we're just trying to get to the end of the rainbow as quick as possible. So now we go over here, pop this, and again, another 10 minutes or so. This is where I'll pop a 15 because it's not really worth it to try and gem this. And of course, the resources are going to be the first cap. Now, the way I would recommend getting around this is now what you want to do is open up your turf quests and spam your turf quests at this point. Because essentially what you're trying to do now is you're trying to get enough XP to level up. And this is what you need to be able to actually kind of go through, which is pretty much what you need in order to like go from it, basically from where you're at to go any further. So like so. That's pretty much that. Now, obviously, the first thing you'll notice is that they'll tell you can get gems this way. So what you do is join a guild, and they'll give you 400 gems. So if you're running out of gems, just like that, that's how you get around that. But now that you've done that, you can then do this, and it'll ask you if you are enjoying the game. Yeah, we're not gonna say anything about that right now because we don't really care. But essentially, after you've done that, pop a 15 again, pop a 15 again, and a 5. And then here you've got about like a 3-minute, and then one of these little 1 minutes, and that's pretty much it. Pop a free, and now you should be able to see the events. Now, this is what I want to show you. So the Love at First Sight event is basically going to be the event that I recommend you guys out there, like myself, are going to be going ham on. Because basically the Trickstars and the German Gremlins here are going to be coming in waves of every 3 hours. Now, you're not going to get a lot of these, all right? Like, if you're in very active kingdoms, this is going to be fairly difficult. So you got to go looking for a dead kingdom if you really want to go ham on this event. But essentially what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hit these as many as possible. So if you got Monster Ending, get your Monster Ending research up. If you got your Monster Ending, get that. But that is essentially what you want to do. Because this event here is going to give you the Holy Stars and the gems to be able to actually, hopefully, be able to, in my case, it's print more troops, but for almost everybody else, it'll be just benefits. Obviously, you got Guild Showdown coming up as well, so don't forget that, obviously, if you are trying to make the most out of Guild Showdown, always make sure to put all of your leaders in, and also make sure that they are in composition to whatever you're using. So, again, a real popular strategy is to use the frontline and anti-frontline. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just understand that if you're using infantry, the anti-frontline to you is going to be range, because essentially you're trying to counter the cavalry that is attacking your infantry. All right, now that is basically frontline, anti-frontline. But needless to say, all right, with that being said, all right, you will want to essentially kind of think in some sense, all right, that with what you are doing, okay, in terms of this event, you'll want to go ham on it. Obviously, Guildfest is not far away; it's coming up at some point. We don't know when, but it's got to be coming pretty soon. And obviously you got a speed event coming up, so there's that as well. So again, just something to keep an eye on. Of course, as far as the packs are concerned, you guys have probably all seen these, but now for the day. I thought, maybe what we could do for a change for a daily upload is, well, we could basically talk about the new packs that come up every day, as well as kind of a, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below, kind of like what you guys want to see from here on out. But obviously, now that, I've kind of gone over that, I just wanted to go ahead and briefly give you guys an update over the current situation. So as you can tell, I've got a lot of resources, and I've been building up troops like hella crazy. And like I said, why I'm going to go ham on this event is because essentially what I'm aiming for here is I'm going to do about 1.5 to 1.8 million tier 4, and then I'm either going to do 2.2 million or so tier 2s, maybe 2.5 million, and then over here I'm just going to leave at 500k across is the goal for the tier 3. Now I know the tier 3s sound pretty high and it will potentially run into a high wound cost, but we'll see. Obviously, in case you guys are wondering, why am I going up with these kind of builds? It's because based on what I see with AlphaSmurf's current data, and again, I'll have a description in the link below if you want to look into this further, but essentially what I'm looking at right now is either you can do an M44 rally trap, which is to do 2 million tier 4 across and then 2 million tier 2 across. All right. The benefit of that is that's a pretty straight even 300 mil, which would put me at 606 million might overall. Granted, that's 13.5 million troops, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I can just as easily do 1.5 million tier 4 across, and then put in an additional 500,000 in tier 2s, and it'll achieve about the same thing. Because again, you'll notice the total troops is roughly about the same, but the total might is about roughly 40 or 50 million might less. But you'll see that here it's 23 million, and in this method it is almost 27. All right, now I will say that roughly based on these numbers, okay, it is very clear to me that it almost makes more sense in some ways to like say if your front line's 500k across. Again, it's mildly questionable. All right, if you're in the wrong front line, it's gonna hurt like a mother trucker. But assuming that you're within this range, you should be okay. And I'm not fully sure exactly how far I can get away with this, because I feel that may still be a little much even for this. It may still not be enough, but in theory, right? And this is the thing with where I'm going to go with it, is that if I do 2 million tier 2 across, tier 2s are going to be about 1,000 days worth of time. And I know that because basically based on this particular graph down here, it looks to me like it's going to be a pretty penny. To even do like 400,000 or 500,000 to do like 1.5 million, that is not a cheap, it's not cheap. It's going to cost me a good chunk of gems every single time. It's not an easy venture, let alone, just trying to accomplish it is going to be pretty difficult. But assuming that you were to use the days, it's going to cost me roughly 430 days, which is not easy to achieve. But what I do know is events like these that we've got coming up are the way to do it. Needless to say, though, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and check out these other videos, and I'll see you guys next time.